Okay, well, let's get started. Welcome everyone to our first virtual visit featuring Park City Education Foundation programs and initiatives. This is our first visit of the 2022-2023 school year. Just so excited that you could join us. I'm Kara Cody, oversee programs for the Park City Education Foundation. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. The first is that, of course, we are recording the event, as you can see on your little Zoom box, but just a reminder that we're recording and excited to then share this visit out with the rest of the world. The event flow is going to be that we'll have some presentations from Park City School District staff members, as well as some students. That being said, the students are going to be kind of in and out, especially the high school students, as they have some other things going on this morning, but thrilled that they could join us. So if you do have any questions, feel free to raise your hand, take yourself off mute, and kind of ask in the moment, because if we wait until the end, the high school students may not be available to answer your questions. And if you could just remember to mute yourself, just to cut down on any background noise. But of course, if you are asking a question, please take yourself off mute. And so with that, we will get rolling. Together with our donors and volunteers, Park City Education Foundation funds and supports educator-powered initiatives that inspire all students to reach their academic and lifelong potential. We've been doing this for nearly 40 years. We're investing in the future. Our students will enter a world we can't even imagine. We want to make sure that they're prepared with the skills to be tomorrow's innovators, problem solvers, and leaders. Donor gifts help us support teachers and students and fund classroom-centered, research-based programs that prepare every Park City student for a lifetime of success. In addition, Utah is the lowest funded public education system in the country, and 96% of our state collected education tax dollars are redistributed to other districts. PCEF infuses more than $1.5 million annually into the Park City School District. This funding reaches classrooms through our 8 signature initiatives. Within those initiatives, we support more than 100 programs reaching every single student in Park City School District. We serve as a facilitator to bring outside resources to the classroom through these 8 initiatives. The preschool program, elementary visual arts, after school programming, Bright Futures, classroom and express grants, innovation lab, educator and student wellness, and real world learning, which is why we're here today. These real world learning STEAM disciplines teach students how to think both analytically and creatively. Pair them with a real world project, and students learn in some of the most effective ways possible through collaboration and trial and error. The high school's PCCAPS program is one of the real world learning programs we help fund. In the program, juniors and seniors do real projects for real businesses or nonprofits, guided by teachers and mentored by experts within the community. Today, we're here to acknowledge the 10th anniversary of the PCCAPS program, where we're honor the past, celebrate the present, and look to the future of real world learning here in Park City School District. You've heard enough from me. It's my pleasure to introduce our PCCAPS rock stars, starting with Lindsey Huntsman, who is the Director of Career and Technical Education for the Park City School District. And I am going to kick it over to you, Lindsey.
Thanks, Kara. Can I go ahead and share my screen?
Let me take myself off mute. Are you not able to?
I can, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Well, good morning and thanks, Kara. Thank you to those of you who are joining us this morning. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us, as well as investing in our students. Your efforts make programs like PCCAPS possible, so thank you. You may be wondering why and asking yourself, why did we shift the focus to real world learning at the high school through our PCCAPS program? First and foremost, no entity except for education has existed for 100+ years without some form of redesign or pivot. The pandemic spotlighted the need to reimagine education, as well as the disconnect between education and industry. As a district, we were able to start our redesign 10 years ago and become the example for the rest of the state of Utah by being the first school district in the state to join the CAPS network. Our ability to connect industry and education through real-world learning affords our students the opportunity to acquire a employable skill set while experiencing their future career firsthand. Since joining the CAPS network in 2013, the network has expanded to 90 affiliates across 23 states and 4 countries. The original CAPS program is located in Overland Park, Kansas, in Blue Valley School District. All CAPS programs focus on 5 core values that include profession-based learning, professional skills development, self-discovery and exploration, entrepreneurial mindset, and responsiveness. Responsiveness meaning that we look at our community here in Park City as well as Summit County and see what connections we might be able to make with our local industry partners. There are 6 strands within PCCAPS. We have architecture and engineering, business solutions, digital design, health and medicine, teaching as a profession, and app and tech solutions. It is an elective for our juniors and seniors. They can take it for 1 semester or multiple semesters. We've had kids who spend 2, 3 semesters with us in PCCAPS. Currently, 2 of our strands are shifting to competency versus traditional assessment practices. The areas identified were done in collaboration with employers and what they felt was most important. The scale itself is a 4-point scale that uses terms such as unemployable, employable, competitive, and leader. We're excited about this shift because we feel like this mirrors what you might see in the industry. So our kids are getting to experience this sort of evaluation and reflection system prior to exiting high school. Since its inception, PCCAPS has impacted 999 students. I wish that number was 1,000 today, but we'll be there by the end of the school year. Along the way, we've made adjustments to our schedule. We used to be a double block period, but we recognize that double block period prevented all students from accessing the program. So in an effort to be equitable and allow all students to access the program, we shifted some of our strands to a single period. We've also added strands. Health and medicine was not a part of the original PCCAPS, so that's been added throughout the process. And we've also introduced things such as Scrum, which is a framework for project management used across multiple professions. That was not something that was part of the initial design of PCCAPS. So with that, I'm sure you're ready to hear from students. I know no one wants to hear about a product from the person who designed it. You actually want to hear from the customer who's experienced it. So we're going to transition to our student showcase where you'll get to hear from some of our students, and Adrienne Woolley, who manages the projects and most of the day-to-day activities with PCCAPS, is going to facilitate that. So Adrienne, I'm going to turn the time over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us. I'm just trying to screen share myself. We have here 3 groups of PCCAPS students, which we're so excited that they would join us. We have 2 groups that were in the spring. They took PCCAPS in the spring, and then we have a group that is current PCCAPS students. They're current PCCAPS students, and they're going to tell us all about their projects. We will start by, just a minute, we'll start by having a group from our health and medicine strand. And this was, they were in the spring, right? So they'll introduce themselves. They were the SCAT-5 concussion testing, and the links to their projects are in here if you want to go back later and look through them. But they'll just tell you about their project and what they learn, and then we'll go open it up for questions, and then we'll move to our next few groups. So go ahead, ladies.
I'm Avery Westover. And I'm Molly Shea. And then we had the project of the SCAT-5, which is a concussion protocol testing. And yeah, we just revised it to make it easier for the average person to understand and like the general public to understand. Yeah, so basically it was like the original SCAT 5 is super complicated, really long, and it kind of contradicts itself in like a point system. So what we did is we revised the whole thing, made it a lot simpler for like basically everybody to use, just so it's more convenient. And what we did was we took the data from people that we tested with our new SCAT 5 and we put it against medical diagnosis from actual doctors for concussions, and we saw that they actually lined up. So we found out that our revised SCAT 5 is just as effective and easier to use. Yeah, so that's the gist. Yep, that was our project.
So the great, we have PCCAPS Health and Medicine students this semester continuing their SCAT 5 project and building on it. And they are reaching out and now will work with Wasatch, South Summit, and North Summit to collect more data. So it's a great project that Ms. Shaw, their instructor, has kind of built, and we hope to just keep growing it through CAPS each semester. But I'll turn it back to them for questions. Any questions for Molly and Avery?
I do have a couple of questions. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know that you are probably very busy student, so thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Question, so I assume you're seniors this year, correct? If you did PCCAPS last spring. Did your PCCAPS experience help kind of determine maybe like what's going to be next for you after high school? Kind of in where you're thinking about going to college or what your major might be?
I think for me personally, I think it helped me understand like kind of what I don't want to do, like if I were to go into not in a bad way, but like if I were to go into medicine, like just areas that I don't want to go to. I found this project really, really interesting. So I was like encouraged to keep going with it and like put in a lot of effort and really like show interest in it. So I think that I'm more interested to go into the medical field now because of the project.
Yeah, same for me. It definitely helped me take a deeper dive into like what I want to do in the medical field. So it was just really helpful on figuring out what programs I want to be a part of in college.
We have one more question from the chat, and this is from Jen O'Brien. She asks you two how this project felt different from a regular class assignment.
Oh, it's more on your own. You're very independent with the project, which I think helps you mature, and just it's very strict on like time management. The teachers aren't down your neck about like when stuff is due. So it's just like you really have to be good about time management, and it's your fault if your project doesn't succeed and you really feel the pressure of that. So
yeah, I think it also was interesting because we work with like outside people, like we work with a lot of students as well, like testing them. And then part of the PCCAPS like program is that you work with outside sources like other adults and like people in the field. So it really helps you get a feel for like what you're in for and just like what the project is basically. So yeah.
thank you guys.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Molly. Thanks, Avery. They're both awesome to come back and tell us about their program or their project. Next, we will have Reef and Connor. Reef and Connor are seniors as well. They did a full year of CAPS. Their first semester, they did the business solutions strand. And then the second semester, they did the architecture and engineering strand. So today, they are going to talk about their architecture and engineering project. And this is the STEM Action Center if you want to click on the link and look at their presentation at a later date. So I'm going to turn the time over to Reef and Connor.
Hi, how's it going? Okay, so we had a project with STEM Action Center, and pretty much what they wanted us to do was to design a STEM-based educational playground for kids ages like 3 to 6. And pretty much the point of that was just to get kids involved with math early, because their studies at the STEM Action Center have shown that high proficiency in math at an early age is a great dictator of success in later schooling. Yeah, so first what we kind of started off with was we brainstormed some ideas. We had the PCCAPS space, we had some whiteboards, and we were just collaborating, sharing ideas, what would be the best way to incorporate STEM into a playground. And then when we started to have more of an idea of what we wanted, we began to model this in Fusion, which is a software program where you can take those models. And then later on, what we did when we had that finished model was we 3D printed it, and then we had our complete design. We added a little bit of additional features, some color, some text, and then we showed that to the client and gave him our pitch. Yeah, so our client was really satisfied with the work we did. Did you mention that we went to talk to the preschool? Oh, no. So yeah, we went over to McPullen just to go get some like math standards because we wanted to know exactly what we should be incorporating, like what's good math that they're actually going to be seeing when they're in school. And they gave us some good insight, and we were able to create kind of our model was it was a playground where the steps, as you would climb up, it would go up from like it would be numbered 1 through 5 steps, and then the first step would have one hole in it that you could grab. The second would have 2, then up to 5, and that kind of gave these kids like a perception of between the correlation between like numbers and height, so they understood like as they're going up to the 5th step at the highest one. And then also there's 5 dots. So then that kind of just teaches them that as the numbers go up, their height increases. And then same thing for the slide. As the slide went down, it numbered down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So they understand that they're going up in height and then going down in height. Yeah, and I think that perception of the height was very key because they would have a starting base of 0 feet, obviously because they hadn't started to climb. And then as they continue to climb up the stairs, they would be like, oh, I'm approximately 3 feet high and there's 5 feet total. That gives them a little bit of idea into fractions. I'm 3/5 of the way to the top. And then on the way down, the same thing. And that was one of the standards that they were looking at. They also wanted to look at, can the students count to 10? So there was an additional feature at the top of the feature where we just had some interactive numbers where basically the preschool that we went, they had suggested that for us to incorporate that, one of the things we could do is we could have touch points on the numbers, which is basically getting the kids a hands-on experience where they can really start to, get involved, touch things in, and just sort of experience it in a little more playful way and kind of cement that education into the playground. Yeah, so I mean, other than that, that's pretty much all of the math and brains that went into the playground. And yeah, that's what we were able to do in a quarter. I think we got a lot of work done. But yeah, we ended up, our final was we printed a 3D model of it. So how big would you say it was? Like 6 inches by 6 inches? Yeah, approximately. And yeah, so the client was really impressed, and that's how we finished off last year.
That is fantastic. Do we have any questions from the audience? Feel free to either put it in the chat, take yourself off mute. If not, I am going to go. Oh, go ahead, Jen.
No, I was just gonna say no question, but that is so cool. Honestly,
Yes.
like I want to go to that playground, and I wish my kids were still little. That is like just what an amazing, like even the research going to the school, that just sounds like such a great project and nicely done. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a very fun project. We really enjoyed it.
I guess kind of parroting off of Jen's comments, with going to the preschool to ask the littles, was that an idea that you both came up with? Was it kind of from the STEM Action Center? How did you come up with?
That idea was really cool. Miss Woolley actually recommended, she's like, maybe you guys go talk to McPullen. And that was probably the best idea that we had throughout the project. And that really helped us out. So yeah, Miss Woolley was really helpful throughout the entire quarter. So
amazing.
We have one more question from the chat. John Reed asks, what kinds of classes the students are taking that helped inform the project?
What do you say? I don't think so. Oh, okay. I see what you guys are saying. So we actually hadn't really had any experience that helped us with that specific project. Connor was actually responsible for most of the 3D modeling, and he just pretty much was self-taught, taught himself how to do it. We had a bit of shuffle with our teacher for architecture and engineering, but Miss Woolley took over, and she was just really good she gave us some really good guidance and kept us on track. And yeah, I think that she's definitely a big part of why our project was so successful.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much. Appreciate it.
Connor and Reeve. these guys are busy. All these seniors are, as you know, thick in the middle of college applications, and these two guys have a bunch of November 1st deadline. So we are so glad that they came to share with us their projects. I'm just sorry, I'm looking at I'm shuffling these kids and moving them around.
Nope, love it. We love the energy and the excitement.
All right. Our next group of kids is they are current PCCAPS kids. I thought it would be interesting to hear from a group of kids that are just starting their project and in the middle of it. And they are really just about 4 weeks into this. So they can tell you what they learned so far and what they're trying to figure out. So I will turn the time over to Sloan and Rollin, and they will tell you all about their project. And they are from the business solutions strand. So this is the third of 4 that we are highlighting today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rollin.
And I'm Sloan. And our client for our PCCAPS project is Stein Erickson. And they have given us the job of helping them find new employees for all 3 of their properties, which includes the lodge, the residences, and the chateau. And we are coming at it from a marketing social media approach. And we are finding new and innovative ways to use social media and use marketing to attract new employees and not just new guests for their all 3 of their properties.
So we just had our first meeting. We started this project 4 weeks ago. That's around the time when we had our meeting. And during that time, we really got together with the people we're working with. And we brainstormed a bunch of ideas on how we could get these resources that we're creating out to other employees who would possibly want to work at the Stein. So some ideas that we came up with for that was a day in the life video that could be posted on all sorts of social medias that would really just kind of show the day in the life of the employee at Stein. And we could do various different jobs there. We also came up with advertising on Instagram, that it'd be like a little resource page that would have a link that you could click on, and it direct you straight to the Stein page where you could sign up and become an employee.
We also are currently trying to help them get verified on all of their social medias. And this would be super vital to helping them grow and find new employees to have a bigger outreach. And I think one of the best things about our project is, since we are coming from a newer generation, we have a different perspective than they might. And it's really interesting for us to collab and to show our different point of views and to work together to find solutions that we both like and we both think will help grow the business. And that's our project at the moment. Is there any questions?
That's amazing. You are in the thick of it. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Are you learning anything? I'm sure you're learning a lot right now, but anything about what you would like to do possibly in the future as a career, possible major, is this or even what you don't want to possibly pursue as a career or major?
I've definitely always been very interested in marketing in my whole life, and hospitality. I've taken marketing classes at school, entrepreneurship, hospitality, all of those kinds of classes. So those skills I've learned in my previous classes have really helped me with this one. And it's also really fueled me to want to be in that kind of business when I'm older.
Do you hope to possibly come back to Park City to live after you've, gone on, done great things in the hospitality industry?
It's definitely a big possibility. When I was younger, I always said it would be so awesome if I was able to have my own hotel in Park City before I even lived here. So definitely a possibility for sure.
Okay. We'll help connect you with some investors. If there's anybody out in the audience who would like to invest, let us know.
Thank you.
Oh, great. Thanks, Sloan. Thanks, Rollin. You guys can get back to class. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Our 4th project that you'll see on this slideshow is the Summit Rail Trail Tech Project. These 2 young ladies that ran this project, they were seniors. They are both majoring in computer science at Brigham Young University. They started Girls Who Code at the high school. Both Cassidy and Mamie, I know, received scholarships from tech projects they started. So we're really proud of Mamie and Cassidy. And they were, as you can imagine, we have fewer girls in our text strand, and we're so glad we've got more females in it and building it there. And they have represented Park City and PCCAPS really well. The Summit County, and specifically the Rail Trail Corridor Project, has been a great supporter of PCCAPS by giving us a number of different projects. We currently are working on a architecture and engineering project with them, and we have for the last, this will be our 3rd semester. They have the kids designing a welcome center right, behind Home Depot at the Promontory Gate. It's kind of where you can pick up the rail trail here in town, but it seems like people that park and pick up the rail trail, that's generally where they start. And so they have kids designing a welcome center there. Cassidy and Mamie built an app and website with QR codes that when you're walking or riding a bike along the rail trail, you will find, not now, but in the future, QR codes that you can scan from your phone that would take you to history about the rail trail. The purpose of this rail trail corridor project is to connect Summit County. You've got Park City here, and you go down I-80 a little bit further, you go through Browns Canyon, and then you've got Wanship, and then you go down I-80 a little bit further, and then you have Colville. And the rail trail is the one continuity, kind of continuous thing through the county besides freeway. And so we've been so grateful to have Summit County Rail Trail Corridor give us projects. So if you want to click on this, it's really impressive what these gals did. So that kind of is an overview of our different strands and our great kids that we have in PCCAPS, as you can see from those that just spoke to you. Any questions for me?
No question, but just want to express gratitude, Ms. Woolley, for all you've done. I mean, I think, proof is in the pudding with the students just saying, how meaningful your teaching and mentorship, was to their PCCAPS experience. So just thank you for being involved with the program and being just such an incredible educator.
Thank you. They're amazing. I love the energy that all of them have. And it's in 15, 16, 17-year-olds, you all know, because you're here. I'm constantly amazed at their ideas, their work ethic, and they're not just teenagers on their phones all day on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook. They really are outstanding kids. So
Thanks, Adrienne.
Thank you.
Adrienne really is the brains behind PCCAPS. I get to drop ideas to her and she runs with it and makes sure they come to fruition with our staff. So I am more than appreciative of all the work that she does each day with CAPS and some of our other CTE programs. Kristina Schiffman, you're not going to get away with not talking about your project in PCCAPS. So if you'll take a minute, Kristina, to just talk about your experience in PCCAPS with your project and then what you're doing with it now that you're a student at the University of Utah.
Thank you, Ms. Huntsman. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristina. I am a student at the University of Utah. I'm studying mechanical engineering and business administration, and I participated in CAPS for multiple semesters. I'm not sure how many, but it was a few. And I was working on a project called UV Sense, which is a ultraviolet detecting wearable sensor for skin cancer prevention. It was an incredible project, and I got to work with University of Utah dermatologists. I got to work on circuit board development, CAD, so 3D printing and computer design, and then also working on the development of an iOS application. It's something that I really love to do and led me to make the decisions that I have for my education in college. Yeah.
I think you forgot to talk about a patent or something.
Yeah, so I have been really lucky to continue to work on this project outside of high school. I was really lucky to be able to take it out of PCCAPS because I was very passionate about it and continue working on it through university. So right now I'm working on an application for a provisional patent for our hardware circuit boards that we make, and then also the software that we're working on. We're working on IP. So yeah, I've continued to work on the project, and I'm really hoping to have this available to users by next summer, something that can really be life-changing for people who have a predisposition to skin cancer.
Kristina, I have a question. I know your experience a little bit because I've gotten to be so lucky to interview you a couple times. Can you talk a little bit about how PCCAPS really helped you get yourself set up for success after high school?
Definitely. I think that PCCAPS is really important and fundamental to education. One of the reasons is because I grew up in a Montessori type environment, so really hands-on. And this is the same type of thing that PCCAPS provides. In school, in high school and college, you're learning a lot of theory, you're learning about how you think physics works, about how maybe molecules interact with each other, but it's really hard to be in environments where you get that practical application of all of the things that you learn. And PCCAPS was really helpful in allowing me to get that practical application that I really didn't get anywhere else. And so going into college, I had already done all this stuff. I'd already been making medical devices. And I'm in my, introductory courses where kids really haven't done anything yet. And I've gotten to build a whole medical device in high school, which was really an incredible experience and really shaped, my college experience as well, about the opportunities that I thought I could go into and the success that I would have in my classes, knowing what I already knew because of PCCAPS.
Thanks, Kristina. I'll make sure to Venmo you later for that promotion.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Kristina?
I know she has to get to a calculus test, so like doubly appreciative of her time and willingness to share. I kind of am like getting like anxious just hearing the word calculus. So
thanks, Kristina.
Thank you.
So some of you may not know that PCCAPS is part of our larger CTE program that begins in 7th grade with College and Career Awareness, CCA. If you have or have had a 7th grader, they have taken that course, and that's where they get to explore all of the different pathways that are associated with CTE. With the overwhelming support of our recent bond, CTE programs will receive new facilities at both Park City High School and Ecker Hill Middle School. At the high school, students will be able to experience architecture and engineering in a construction lab where they may build tiny homes or sheds. Those are things we're still developing as construction progresses. In addition, they may have practical hands-on application in our new physical therapy space. We are bringing on physical therapy as a pathway. In the new space, we recognize we have lots of students who are interested in the medical field, and we feel like that's a great way, along with EMT and EMR and some of our other courses, to jumpstart their career path in that area. We'll have a flight simulation through our aviation pathway that is new this school year. So this school year, we started a private pilot course as well as a drone aviation course. And both of those are happening at Park City High School through Trip Marshall. And we will expand upon that pathway in the new facility. And we'll also have kids who are interested in culinary, and they will now have a commercial kitchen that is mirror of what they might see when they walk in Stein, when they look at Deer Valley, those areas, if they're interested in that pathway. Ecker Hills programs will replicate what students might see at the high school, but on a much smaller scale, which will provide us with an opportunity to align our programs 6-12. One may ask, why should my student take career and technical education courses? Why should I invest, in CTE? Believe it or not, we're in the 4th industrial revolution where rapid change to technology is occurring due to interconnectivity and smart automation, which means our students need a different skill set to be successful beyond our K-12 system, which is why I personally am a huge proponent of CTE and the hands-on application that it provides our students, as well as the fail forward mindset. Students can fail, learn from their failures, get back up and try again. Not every class in our K-12 system allows that opportunity. In closing, CTE will continue to help students discover the skills and interests they want to carry forward through meaningful and relevant experiences. We appreciate your time, your contributions, your feedback as we continue to make improvements to our programs. And now I'll open it up to questions, should you have them, whether they're specific to PCCAPS, CTE as a whole, what we're doing in our elementary space to impact students' course choices in the middle school level.
I just want to share a very nice comment from Heather Koopman, sharing this with you, especially Lindsay, that she said, my son has trip marshal for coding in 8th grade. It's his favorite class and he can't wait for all the CTE opportunities in high school. So thank you, educators. And there is a question as well in the chat from John Reed. How does Park City's CTE offerings compare to other districts in the state?
Yeah, so when you look at our size, we serve about 5,000 kids. No other district our size has the opportunities available in the CTE space. Especially when you look at computer science, which falls under the CTE umbrella. We have a K-12 computer science pathway. You're not going to find that anywhere else in the state of Utah.
And remind me, Lindsay, how long has the coding pathway existed here in Park City?
Let's see. I have to think of my time with the district, and then when I
I know, and I should know this as well. I know that it's been a while. I think isn't it like
at least 10 years old?
Yep. And we've got another question from the chat audience. This one's from Heather as well. How do you pick employers? Do they apply? For the PCCAPS program, how are they recruited? How are they selected?
Adrienne, do you want to take that one on? You're on mute.
There we go. Sorry. We have some businesses and organizations that come to us. They know about PCCAPS and would have a project in mind. Most of the projects we have, I have sought them out through businesses or organizations, nonprofits. So that's part of my role, is to find the projects for PCCAPS. We have found better success with small businesses. The larger the company, usually the less face-to-face time those clients give our kids. When they're smaller businesses, they're more invested, especially if they're here in Park City. They're eager to help our kids, eager to meet them for coffee and talk about, come to the high school, have them come to their businesses. But primarily it's me going out and finding them. But as the word, the program has grown and these kids have done such a fantastic job. We're getting more and more that come to us and say, hey, I've heard about PCCAPS and this great project that your students did. I would love to participate as well. And we'd love for you to spread the word as well about PCCAPS. With it growing, we're in need of more and more projects, but we also are particular about the clients and the projects we take on. I want to make sure that it's a great experience for the students. That's my priority, that if they're going to choose this is a choice class. If they're going to choose this class, it's going to be worth their semester to dedicate a whole semester to a project that's really good quality.
Good to know. And Adrienne, would you mind if we threw your email on the chat, just in case anybody has, Molly, would you mind?
I can do it.
Oh, okay.
I'll do it.
Okay. Just so if we have anybody that has, any, businesses or organizations that might be interested, just to help Adrienne out a little bit. And we do have a couple of questions in the chat. Our first one, we have one from Ben Rifkin, and it's for you, Lindsay. It's what is a PCCAPS or CTE focus area you would like to add to our current offerings based on skills, needed job opportunities that may exist in the future?
Yeah, I think, and we're talking about this within our region, which includes Alpine, Nebo, South Summit, Wasatch, North Summit, manufacturing. I think that industry in and of itself is currently undergoing one of the biggest transformations with everything that's being automated. So bringing that online and providing that opportunity for our kids would be phenomenal. We're in the early stages of talking about it, but we're nowhere near it coming online. So give us a year or two. Hopefully we'll be there.
Amazing. And just a few things going on right now with realignment and the new facilities and kind of everything else. So thank you. And have a question and a comment from Jen O'Brien. Amazing, really exciting to hear about what you're doing and how well this is serving Park City students. Only wish it could be available to more students. My sense is that many of those needing extra services, for example, English language learners, don't have as much open time in their schedule for this. Did I hear a rumor that you may be working on introducing something to the Dream Big summer program?
It's not a rumor, it's true, not fake news. Yes, we are working with Dream Big to hopefully have kids build an electric vehicle through the summer program, and they would be able to earn CTE credit through that process, because the state is developing a course called Electrical Vehicle Safety. So not only do they get that hands-on experience and acquire a skill set and knowledge they may not currently possess, they also get the credit that they need for graduation. So we're in the early stages of ironing some things out for that. Thanks to PCEF, they are the ones behind that classroom grant, so we appreciate that support. And one of the things we were able to do in regards to your comment about certain students not being able to access the program was paring it down to a single period. We recognized giving up third and fourth period was next to impossible for not only our English language learners, but also our students who take multiple AP courses. There's just no wiggle room within their schedule. And so by making that shift, we saw our growth impact immediately. Because more kids are like, hey, now I can do it. I can handle it if it's a single period versus the double blocked period. So we've been able to make some shifts within our program to increase accessibility. And another point along the same lines of that and equity is, you likely noticed many of our kids who presented today were wearing white Nike polos with the PCCAPS logo. And that was due in large support from the Ed Foundation. We wanted all of our kids to have professional attire, but we didn't want them to have to worry about going out and buying it on their own when they may not have the financial resources to do so. So every student this year who takes a PCCAPS course will get a Nike polo with the logo embroidered.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lindsay. And I think we're kind of nearing our end. I'm not sure if there are any last questions. I know that, everyone's got busy lives, but just want to thank you all for tuning in. A huge thank you to Adrienne and Lyndsay for presenting and for corralling the students, and Kristina for taking time out of her morning. So thank you all so much. Just want to remind you that our next virtual visit will be on October 17th. We're featuring the Bright Futures program. Stay tuned for more information on that. We appreciate our donor support for making the PCCAPS program possible, as well as other real world learning opportunities here in Park City School District. And that's a wrap. And thank you all so much. And please keep in touch.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kara.